Every Thursday morning at 9:30 a.m. for the Need for Speed Auto Show, hosted by me, America's mechanic, Fred Fletcher. Everything you want to know about our local tracks and races to the NASCAR scene, as well as our area car shows and cruise nights. Brought to you by Fletcher's Garage in Fairless Hills and heard every Thursday morning at 9:30 on WBCB 1490 AM, 107.3 FM, and throughout the world at WBCB1490.com.
You won't see termites crawling across your floor, but thousands might be devouring the wood in your walls, weakening the structure of your home. For over 50 years, termite proofing and pest control of the Delaware Valley has been in the exterminating business. If you think you have a pest problem, they're the experts. Call them today at 215-639-5455. That's 215-639-5455 for TPPC. Termite proofing and pest control of the Delaware Valley gives your home or business peace of mind, knowing your pest problem is in their hands. Located at 1560 Bristol Pike in Bensalem, they use only EPA-approved material applied by licensed technicians. Call Termite Proofing and Pest Control of the Delaware Valley at 215-639-5455.
You're listening to 1490 WBCB and on your FM dial at 107.3 W297CL Levittown.
Good morning, race fans, and welcome to Yardley, Pennsylvania.
We're here for Wide Open Wednesday, your favorite racing show here on WBCB. Here are your hosts, Nick Leach and Fred Fletcher.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, everybody. And wow, 70 degrees outside. That tells you that race season is here. And of course, we've had some racing already.
Oh, yeah.
And the racing was really, really good at Port Royal.
I got one question, though. What the hell happened with that tow truck?
Decided to take a nap. And if you look, a tow truck got on its side at Port Royal. And if you look over, there's a picture on the internet. You look over to your right, and that's Chris Moore off to the right, acting like he's got a severe headache. I talked to Chris earlier. I said, Chris, what's going on? He said, I couldn't believe that happened. So evidently, cross signals, he crossed the track when he shouldn't have crossed the track. And it happens. I mean, everybody's busy. Everybody's doing different things.
Especially first one of the year, too.
Yeah, and he may have put his radio down on the seat or something. It happens. But right away, everybody, it happens, okay? It's going to happen. So
it looks like no harm, no foul. Just and
by the end of the day, they got it running. Yeah. They must have took it to Fletcher's and got it fixed real quick. So
yeah, I'd fix that. It's a nice square body Chevy truck.
Yeah, I mean that thing's been around forever. So and most of the tow trucks they have at New Egypt and Bridgeport, and most of the guys have been running them for years. So, but yeah, we want to get into this week's Bridgeport's opener. That's a short track Super Series race. A lot of guys that were at Port Royal are going to be there. We have a winner from Port Royal going to call in today. Have a chance to talk to him. And we also have two brothers that are going to call in from Maple Grove Raceway. Of course, the Koretsky's own Maple Grove, and I work for them. I drive a dump truck for them. We have the Grippo brothers going to call in, Joe and Dan. If you ever go on Maple Grove then and now, and I suggest that you do, Billy Kleinsman is an administrator there, so is Joe Grippo and Dan Grippo. Most of the pictures you see on the Maple Grove then and now site are from the Grippo brothers, and man, do they take some great pictures. If you ever get a chance to check it out, you'll see some great pictures. Or if you race at Maple Grove, they take numerous pictures and they put them on then and now. I'm sure you could probably purchase some of the pictures from the Grippo brothers. They don't sell them, they just take them for fun, and we'll get into that when they call the show. Bridgeport this weekend. I mean, it looks like the weather's going to be okay. It may get cold after the sun goes down, but Doug's been working his butt off to get things ready. Chris has been working his butt off. I talked to him. He said he's crossing his T's and dotting his I's and getting ready for the season opener at New Egypt, and that is a dirt show. So all the stars and cars of the Dirt Series will be there. It'll be a packed house at Bridgeport this week. Because they remember Doug Hoffman this week, and it'll be a packed house at New Egypt. That'll be next week. Yes.
Yeah, next week.
Yeah, next week, not this weekend. Next
Yeah, I
weekend.
might go
up in
down
Legion.
for that.
So
yeah. I was going to go down and do the practice down on the 25th, but I don't think my car's going to get ready. I keep having things to do, not with the car, but I just keep getting sidetracked with the business.
well, I'm glad we got another week because the master
Yeah, I got another
mechanic
week. Yeah.
has my golf cart, and he's doing some tuning on that.
Yeah, so
Thanks
just
to
picked up a
Fletcher's.
nice-
Thanks to Fletcher's, I have a new battery that's going into the golf cart, and some other
Yeah,
trinkets.
Randy Laird's again.
Oh, yeah,
He's got
Randy
my,
Laird.
I installed my seat that he reformulated for me the other day, and I put that in, and everything's all mounted. I got the fire suppression system mounted. I just got to run the plumbing and the nozzles for it. I got to call Warren because I got to figure something out.
Well,
with
now
the,
can you
things.
sit in there and take a nap? Can
I
you
can.
relax?
No, I don't know about taking a nap, but
You relaxed in there?
I can sit in there, and it's not like I have to peel myself in and out. So
There you go. See, that's a good
that's
thing.
good. I just got
Now,
the new cushion today.
Don't
too.
forget, if you're out there in the traffic jam, you're stuck on 195, whatever, you can give us a call, 215-949-3232. Any questions you have.
And the weather's now
the
to
weather is
70, and it
gr-
feels like racing. It's
Yes.
garage beer time.
It's
and
garage
I got
beer
one
time.
here right
and
here.
Fred has one, an official beer
Yep.
of Wide Open Wednesday. It's the garage beer.
I
We
got
have
it
it right here.
in my
The Kelsey Brothers beer.
C141
And
cone can
there you go.
koozie.
Can koozie. And you can get one of these can koozies. Go over to Fletcher's
Oh
Garage.
yeah, I got plenty
He'll
of them.
hook you up. Steve is not allowed to touch this at this moment, but I'm sure when we're done,
Well, if
he'll
I'm
be
done with mine before he hits
Yeah,
that,
yeah, there you have it. So that says it all. But no, I mean, race season is going to, in a couple of weeks, we're going to be full swing into the race season stuff. And like I said, Bridgeport has a short track super series, and the racing last week was really good. Come down to the wire. I know Georgetown's getting ready to open. Everything's getting ready to open, and people are excited. Cabin fever is going to be over here, but now they're talking about rain for what, Thursday and the Friday?
Yeah, Thursday and the Friday is going to be
That's
some
not
rain.
good dump truck weather. We don't want to hear that. But you know what? You got a lot of following here on Thursdays from the landfill. Then people over the landfill listen to you religiously. Of course, now they're done work, but during the work hours from 9 to 9:30, they listen to America's Mechanic, and then from 9:30 to 10, they listen to Need for Speed, and they all listen. We all got big fans, so we may have to get some Wide Open Wednesday T-shirts going, Fred, because they're all asking me for them, either that or hats or whatever we're going to do. We'll make Steve pay for them, and that'll help us out. So while we wait for some callers, feel free to give us a call. We'll talk about anything.
Earl's on vacation, so I doubt.
Oh, that's right. Earl's in Florida, right?
Yep.
So Earl's on vacation. He's not going to call. So if you're interested in giving us a call, we'll talk about anything you want to talk about. We can talk about drag racing. We can talk about mud hops. We can talk about tractor pools. And speaking of tractor pools, Bridgeport is going to have tractor pools at Bridgeport. So that ought to be pretty interesting. I was on Bridgeport's site, and they were showing the tractor
Yeah, I
pools.
saw that. Tractor pools, and then I remember them at New Egypt years ago. They had the mud hops and stuff. Now my cousin actually won the mud hop.
I used to announce the mud hops, so I probably
Maybe you
years
did?
ago I didn't do it, but
This was in '89 or '90.
I wasn't there
Okay.
for then. But and then Maple Grove, the 21st, 22nd, and 23rd, they had the revival there this week. Billy will tell us all about that when he calls. There is a lot of things happening with the weather breaking, and people are getting out there. I seen a Nomad today, orange and white Nomad, 55 Nomad. Wow,
Was it right around here?
yes.
That probably used to be Bobby DeGiorgio's. Which
Okay,
is
beautiful.
Mint. Yeah, he passed
Yeah,
away, and I
mint.
think his wife has it. Yeah, it
Beautiful
is mint.
car.
That
Beautiful
thing,
car.
my, yeah.
So the weather's nice when they start bringing out their hot rods and riding their motorcycles.
Yeah, I'll be back in mine now. My tea bucket.
Yep.
Yep.
Fred's got a tea bucket, and with the weather being nice, guys are going to start riding their motorcycles. Pay attention, people.
Oh yeah.
Pay attention to the guys on their motorcycles. I know there's some nuts out there with the rice
rockets.
burners and the crotch rockets, but you got guys out there with Harley Davidson's just out there for a cruise. You got to pay attention to these people, and you got to watch what's going on. And I know today on Tyburn Road, man, the cops were out. They were pulling anybody and everybody over today.
Oh, yeah.
Luckily, I got away with not getting pulled over. I didn't have to give my boss a call and tell him, "Hey, Ken, I got pulled over." But I don't drive junk. I drive for a good company, and we have brand new equipment, so that helps a lot. when you're going down the road, and my truck says proud to be American on it, so they just like looking at we have a couple trucks with cool murals on them, so, but yeah, I mean, the weather is t-shirt weather, and
I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm ready
so
too.
ready for this.
So hopefully we have nothing coming up to where we'll be able to go to Bridgeport maybe this weekend, see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see what goes on and see how the weather cooperates. And I don't think I have anything else really going on. I was kind of saving it for New Egypt,
Right.
But but we'll see what goes on. I'm up for anything on this. So when is Maple Grove's actual opening? I know they never really closed.
They never really closed, but now they're starting to have their events. They got this revival. I know Nance is working Friday, Saturday, and
Right.
Sunday this week. 100K in payouts they're having, and then Beamers Against the World. I'm looking at the ad now, and Beamers Against the World. They had like 600 cars there. And you see these Beamers, you see these Corvettes, you see all this. It's called Beamers versus the World.
Yeah, I see enough Beamers and Bimmers
I've
during the
seen
week. I don't need to
Corvettes,
see it on the weekend.
I've seen all kinds of stuff there when I was checking bags last year, and the people are just wonderful. If you want to get fat, and check bags there, because all the people are, you can try this here. I'll give you some of this. I'm like, nope. I don't need none of that.
Here's some moonshine.
So they're going to have Pro Mod and actual street and heavy and all kinds of stuff. I'll leave that for Billy Kleinsman. He'll be able to tell us everything that's going on with that. And then, of course, we have Joe and Dan coming on, and we have Stephen Camry going to come on. If you guys are listening, you can call Earl if you want, because I thought Earl was going to call in and take up some time, but being Earl is not going to call in today because he's on vacation, but he's probably listening. So, Earl, enjoy your vacation. Don't worry about what's going on back here. Just bring the nice weather to us, and we can enjoy some racing early.
Yeah,
Because tomorrow's the first day of spring, right?
Yep, tomorrow is. Yep.
5 o'clock this morning.
Tomorrow morning.
Yeah, tomorrow morning at 5 o'clock, spring hits.
Nice.
So that means,
Yeah, I was actually talking with my grandson, and I told him about taking him up to Maple Grove too, because he's never seen a drag race. So he seems excited about that, and hitting New Egypt a couple times. So
you got to take
that
them
warmed
up
my heart. I got to get him while
when
he's
they
thinking
have
about it. Yeah.
when they have the Night of Chaos. Take them for that.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
when the rocket jet cars are there.
Oh yeah.
For the Night of Chaos, he'll love that.
Yeah.
You put him in the tower, and it actually shakes because of the jet cars. Yeah, it's crazy. Kyle was getting ready. He's getting the FX car ready. They're doing all kind of stuff for that, so he's pretty excited about that. They got different things going on with the program. So, and we got a phone call.
We got a call. Maybe it is Billy.
Maybe it is.
I think it is.
It's going, Billy. I'll get you on
And
line.
it's Billy.
Yeah, Billy. There you go. That didn't take long. Live, the voice of Maple Grove and our insider from Maple Grove, Billy Kleinsman. Billy, today is the day to get a tan. What are you doing?
Well, I actually tried to get a nice tan today, and I did get a little bit of suntan on, but then I ended up getting a cloud cover over my house, so I did get a little bit of sun, so I'm happy about that.
There you go, brother. Now, you got a big weekend this weekend, right? Tell us what's going on.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. This is our first major racing season of the event of the 2025 season. Chris Miller Racing will be having their import revival. That's the first of 3 big import races that we're going to be doing this season. As you know, import racing has a huge following in the Philadelphia, Reading, and New Jersey and New York area. So we're excited to have them back again. There's always a real big crowd pleaser. We're going to be having over 200-mile-per-hour import racers screaming down Maple Grove's famed quarter mile. Wow. The weather's going to be really cool this weekend, so that means record-setting performances are going to be taking place. As everyone knows, Maple Grove has always been a record-setting track when the weather's really good, and I'm just excited to just get the season ready. I can't show it right now to you, but if you could see me in person, I'm smiling into you.
I know you are. Oh, yeah, I know you are. Now, we're going to have a couple of special guests on later after you're done, and we're going to have the Grippo brothers on the show today, Bill. So you kind of know them guys. They take a lot of pictures for Maple Grove Den and Now site. Tell people a little bit about the Maple Grove Den and Now site, Bill, so they can see some of them great pictures that the Grippo brothers take.
Well, me and Joe Grippo and his brother Dan, we run the Maple Grove Raceway Then and Now page. That was a page that Joe actually started a couple years after I started, and originally it was just him that was doing the site.
Right.
And then in late 2018, he reached out to me because he needed some help with an administrator. I was the first one that he picked, and I agreed to it. And
Cool.
since then, we've grown the page slowly but steadily. Basically, what it is a page where we celebrate the rich history of Maple Grove, from all the national events to all the specialty races, all the way down to our hometown heroes, our local racers, as I like to call them, our money trail racers. They've always been a real dedicated group of racers that show their support to Maple Grove Raceway every weekend, even though they know that they're never going to get rich and famous off of what they do, but they know they do it just strictly for the love of the sport. And me and Joe like to give them a shout-out when we can and like promoting the regular racers at Maple Grove Raceway. And basically, it's a great place to share all the history of Maple Grove Raceway, both past and present.
That's awesome, Bill. Now, tell the people about this Beamers Against the World. Is it Beamers or Bemmers? How do you say that?
Basically, it's Beamers versus the world. As you know, racing is open to a huge group of demographics. Whether you're young, old, racing appeals to everybody, and we're happy to appeal to our younger car crowd. As you know, we have a huge group of young following. Thanks to the F1 Netflix documentary, when COVID hit, that really opened up the doors to get a lot of young people into racing. And everywhere I go, even at the local bowling alley that I work at, I'm always seeing younger people always wearing old classic racing T-shirts. So obviously there's a following there, and Beamers versus the World is basically a special event that we have. It's basically a car show, and we're also going to let the kids run down Maple Grove's famed quarter mile. We did that at the last import event before Nationals last year with Beamers versus the World. That was a really big hit, and we're happy to have them back this year for the import revival.
Cool. Yeah, I know when I was there, it was packed the last time when we done that, because I was checking bags, and it was a spectacular event. So, all right, Bill, thanks for getting on here and getting on here early. I should probably told you earlier that Earl wasn't going to call, so you're our first caller today, won't be our last. And as always, we appreciate what you do for us for Maple Grove, Bill.
Anytime, guys, and I'm always enjoying coming on Wide Open Wednesday. As you know, people look forward to Wednesday with it being Hump Day, but I look forward to it being on Wide Open Wednesday.
Thank you, Billy. We'll talk to you soon.
All right.
All right. See you guys next week.
All right, brother. Now who we got? Stephen Kemry. We have on the line right now. Stephen, one of the guys that won at Port Royal, which is a unique track, and Stephen, another one of them quarter midget guys that graduated from the quarter midgets and all the other. What's up, Steve? How you doing, brother?
Good. How's it going, guys? How are you?
All right.
We're doing what we're doing. Are you in the garage, or are you on your way home from work? What are you doing?
I work from home, so I'm still working right now, but getting ready to head to the shop probably in the next 45 minutes.
Now, what do you got? You got to do a big transfer for Bridgeport, or what do you got to do to get the car ready for Bridgeport?
Car's almost done. Just have to finish wrapping up tires and then do a quick scale job, and then that one's loaded up, and then get the bar car out cleaned up for this weekend to do some more testing on.
Cool. Now, I had the pleasure of watching the race from home in my recliner, and that it was pretty neat to watch you search around to see what you were going to do to make the pass and for the win. And you definitely made a nice move on Joey to get the lead. And once you got the lead, you kind of checked out. I mean, was the track changing a whole lot, Steve, or what?
1 and 2 really didn't. 1 and 2 kind of had a cushion about 3/4 of the way up, which was there. Joe and Travis early on in the race were running about a quarter, almost a groove to a half a groove off of it. I was really kind of ripping through the cushion there. My car just seemed to be pretty balanced through there. It seemed like it really upsetted Joe's. But then through 3 and 4, I kind of tried early on. I was a little bit too tight, and then it definitely got slick through the middle. On that, restart on lap where I guess it was 13 to go with Joe, he just kind of got a little bit hung out going into the corner. And I had been running all the way down the wall on entry and then kind of drifting out. So there's a big moisture patch right off the corner there of 4. So I was able to kind of throw a makeshift slider, I guess you'd call it.
Yeah.
Kind of get across his nose and then get the run down the front stretch.
Well, I'll tell you what, that was a hell of a move, and that was the move of the race. So you got the move of the race, bud. And what does that win at Port Royal mean to you? I mean, that's pretty prestigious to a lot of guys. And what does that win mean to you to win at Port Royal?
I'll put that up second. I definitely value my Doug Hoffman one as top number one.
Okay.
That one, this weekend's race is a little bit more special to me than the first Port Royal win, just because me and my dad had been working so hard on this car. I won this car in a raffle back in June or July from Elno's, and we started building it back in October. And this was a whole big transition for me to switching over to coils. I'd always been on bars. I think I'm one of the last guys who's still running bars. Brian Hertler always gives me crap for it. So,
right.
This one was definitely special to get out there and have Timmy Buckwalter there, have Brandon Plank and Dig there, just to kind of all lend a helping hand to make sure everything's set up for this weekend.
Now, you progressed through the micros. You're a rookie crate champion, and through the years I've watched and watched you and read all the stuff about you. And you're a pretty outspoken guy. A lot of people are, he's cheating, he's got this, he's got that. And the one quote that I think I saw on the internet was, you guys can take my motor anytime you want and check it. It's all legal. And I guess that kind of shut the haters up pretty quick, didn't it?
I guess so. You would think after the 10K race, at Bridgeport last year when it got completely torn down, which was, completely right and, justified by Doug for a big bang race like that. Both Brian and I motors were torn down.
Right.
I still see some guys complaining about tech for this weekend, and, Brett has his rules, Bridgeport has their rules. There's some conflicting stuff there, but
right.
All of our stuff is legal. I'll sell anything at any point in time. Everything has a price tag. So come with a checkbook, and you can take it right then and there.
See, my co-host here, Fred, is over here laughing because he's a mechanic and he owns a shop, and he feels the same way you do. I mean, you hear it about Shepard. You hear it about Stewart. You hear about all them guys, they're cheating, or, the pill draw is fixed. Come on, guys, really? You guys work your asses off on your car, and now you're getting this success because you work your ass off on your car. You got to work a little harder, guys. You got to, and like Travis Hill and Jesse Hill, them guys all worked hard on their cars, and they got their due. Brian was winning a lot of races too when he was doing what he's doing. So now you switch your stuff to Bridgeport, and how do you change your driving style going from, you can change the radio down the backstretch of Port Royal to the high banks at Bridgeport?
I really love Bridgeport's surface. I mean, you have to be up on the wheel. It kind of reminds me of running a micro Atlanco.
Right.
You're not straight very long. You're kind of getting it jacked in a little bit. You have to find momentum. Early on we were able to find a ton of success there when, Doug first built the 410s. It's like home there. I'm so comfortable there being up on the wall. You have to be comfortable hitting the wall too at times. So, it's just part of the nature there. But Port Royal is its own beast. It reminds me a lot like the old 5.8, long, wide, kind of boring down the straightaway. You can kind of move around, catch a breath, whatever. But on the 410s, man, those restarts are hectic, and that's where you can make or lose a race on those restarts.
Now, every guy has somebody that supports them more than anything in the world, and that would be your wife, Crystal. And, guys that race and people that race, some people just have no idea how important it is to have support from your family and your wife and doing what you're doing in your career. It's a tough job to be a racer's wife, and we got to commend the ladies in racing, and we're going to try and do a little bit of that here on our show. But you got a lot of support. Your dad is a great guy. He was my brother John's snap-on tool guy for many years. He asked about my brother all the time, and I appreciate that. And what are your goals for 2025, dude? What do you got planned?
Not too much. We're going to be focusing on, I just had a pole barn built, back in February. I'm going to be focusing the next couple months, probably through May and June, of getting that fully built out before winter and getting it ready to go. Looking at building a new TQ for next year, so that'll be a little bit different, but mainly we're just going out there to win. I think we have about 15 shows on our schedule right now between Short Track, Bridgeport, New Egypt, and Georgetown. Just kind of bouncing around there a little bit, but just looking to go out there and win as much as we can and learn. It's just a little bit different not running for points. It's kind of tough being at a track every week.
Right.
In my opinion, it doesn't really pay to race 30 sometimes for a $1,200 point payout. And that's not putting any track down. To me, it's just not financially there. I'd rather go enjoy some weekends on the boat or wave run as a family, and take vacations. So that's where I find my enjoyment there.
Now, if you could race any car at any track against any driver, where would it be, and who would be the guy you'd want to race against? Either alive or gone.
I've done it before, but I was very young when I did it. I would want to race Mike Rose again with Chris Bell at Lanco.
Wow.
The first time I ever did it, we were in Speed Weeks in 2010, I believe it was. We were just kind of getting into the scene. We actually brought his car home for Pajatikin at the time that he was driving for, and I'd like to get back out there now and just kind of get the feel for it again and rip around the fence there one more time with him. Now,
there's a lot of young racers out there that look up to a guy like you. What would you give young racers making a jump from quarter midgets to bigger divisions? What advice would you give them, Steve?
You always have to ask the senior people questions. People probably think a lot of us are standoffish and want to hold secrets, and that's not really the case. Always be willing to ask the questions, and there's no stupid questions. Joe and I, Sam, we all talk about our setups. We're all willing to put the information out there for a lot of people, but being able to learn, whether it be different line choices, restarts, different momentums. I can remember Ethan Bill when he first came up, and he messed up on a restart one time, and we got by him on a late race restart for a win. And we sat down and kind of talked through the things he did and how we should correct them moving forward. And it's those things of just having to learn from experience, and you can never have enough knowledge in the sport.
Well, I thought you were a pretty standoff guy before I got to meet you. And you can ask my niece this. We were on the golf cart. You were at New Egypt one night, and I talked to your dad. I never knew that your dad was my brother's snap-on guy. I talked to your dad for 5 minutes. Then I got to talk to you. And after talking to you for 5 minutes, I turned to my niece when we drove away. I said, man, did I judge this guy wrong. And I apologize for that, because sometimes you get caught up in listening to what other people got to say, which is total crap, which I should never do in the position that I'm in. So I owe you that apology, but definitely got the wrong vibe about you. You're a stand-up guy. You're a good person. Your dad's a great guy. And you're going to go a long way in this sport, my man, because you got what it takes. I'll tell you that right now.
Thank you, and I appreciate it. My dad and I are kind of a little bit different. He's very outspoken, very vocal. He gets a bad rap a lot of times, and especially during drivers' meetings. I think we can all agree to that.
He's your dad.
Whereas I kind of, yeah, he is.
He's supposed to do that.
He gets me in a lot of trouble too, though.
That's all right. I know a couple other people are like that. A guy named Johnny Leach was pretty outspoken too. He didn't have no problem saying what he wanted to say. So, but no,
exactly.
That's what it's about. You're his everything, my man. And when he thinks somebody's doing you wrong or something ain't right, that's what he's supposed to do. So, but no, Steve, I can't wait to see you at New Egypt. We had let the cat out of the bag last week here. I am going to be back at New Egypt. Chris Moore got me back in there, and a couple other people got me back there at New Egypt. So win a couple heat races there, and I'll come over and talk to you, and we'll talk to you in Victory Lane, hopefully.
Yeah, for sure. And best of luck with that. Best of luck with Chris. I talk to him pretty frequently and wish him nothing but the best moving forward there. In New Jersey, we need both tracks to succeed.
Absolutely.
In order to keep a good division and good sport. So I think that's the main thing. We can't afford to lose one.
No, that's why we're doing what we're doing here. We're trying to keep everybody aware of what we're doing. We try to do what we do. My boss owns Maple Grove, so we do the drag racing thing. We have a couple drag racing people. We're going to try to get people to call from Big Diamond and Grandview. We're going to try and do it all as a whole here. That's what Fred wanted to do, and he hired me with the big mouth to try and get the progression going. And
I am here.
He is here. I get accused of not letting him talk, but
that's okay. I'll let you do your thing.
But no, we appreciate you calling, and it's people like you that make our show what it is. So we'll have a wide open Wednesday decal for you to put on your car, my brother.
Sounds good. And yeah, I just got to, Port Royal was a big team effort. I just got to thank my crew, Matt and Sean. They bust their butts all weekend doing tires, and they kind of get overlooked at times. And I forgot to thank them in the Victory Lane. I know they're listening now, so.
Absolutely.
We are nothing without our crew members, and especially in our world, tires is so much of an important factor, and they did a great job all weekend there.
Any sponsors you want to mention? Steve, you can mention your sponsors also, buddy.
Yeah, we had U.S. Electric. He was there all weekend. Unfortunately, we just had a viewing for his brother this morning, so our thoughts go out to them. TSL, Dig, they've been a long supporter of ours. Jones Racing Products, ERK, VP Racing, Bruce's Collision, Baya Headers. They just shipped us out a whole new setup right before Port Royal. So we have a great group of supporters with us and look to expand on them for the rest of the year.
All right, brother. Well, we appreciate you calling. This is what makes Wide Open Wednesday what it is. And I will see you either this weekend or next weekend. We'll see you around the track, brother.
Yep, I'll talk to you later. Thank you.
No, thank you, Steve.
Thanks,
We'll
Steve.
talk to you later. Taking a break? All right, we're taking a break. We'll be right back.
Do you feel the need for speed and are a car racing fan? Then tune in every Thursday morning at 9:30 a.m. for the Need for Speed Auto Show, hosted by me, America's mechanic, Fred Fletcher. Everything you want to know about our local tracks and races to the NASCAR scene, as well as our area car shows and cruise nights. Brought to you by Fletcher's Garage in Fairless Hills and heard every Thursday morning at 9:30 on WBCB 1490 AM, 107.3 FM, and throughout the world at WBCB1490.com.
You won't see termites crawling across your floor, but thousands might be devouring the wood in your walls, weakening the structure of your home. For over 50 years, termite proofing and pest control of the Delaware Valley has been in the exterminating business. If you think you have a pest problem, they're the experts. Call them today at 215-639-5455. That's 215-639-5455 for TPPC. Termite proofing and pest control of the Delaware Valley gives your home or business peace of mind, knowing your pest problem is in their hands. Located at 1560 Bristol Pike in Bensalem, they use only EPA-approved material applied by licensed technicians. Call Termite Proofing and Pest Control of the Delaware Valley at 215-639-5455.
Album Sides is back on BCB. Join us weekday mornings at 11 for Album Sides. We've got great music. Gonna spin some of the best albums of all time. It's Album Sides with yours truly, the philosopher Chris Ermer. Weekday mornings at 11 right here on 107.3 FM and 1490 WBCB. You can also listen live at WBCB1490.com.
Who's that?
We are back. We are back here on Wide Open, here on WBCB. Here's your host, Nick Leach and Fred Fletcher.
Hello.
Can I get your name?
Somebody's on.
Somebody's on the line.
Jeff, gotcha.
Steve's all excited.
Jeff Grippo.
Jeff who?
Grippo.
Oh, Joe Grippo's on the line.
Gotcha.
All right, so we got one of the Grippo brothers. We just had Billy Klein spinning on here. Have you been listening, Joe?
No, I was working. Just got off work.
Oh, well, I didn't even get a chance to ask you what you do for a living. What do you do for a living, Joseph?
I work in engineering,
Oh, there you have it.
pharmaceutical type stuff. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay, as long as it's not car engineering, because I got a beef with car engineers.
That's
Yeah,
my
I think we all
co-host
do.
Fred Fletcher. He owns a shop and all that. But I got into. My brother started out in drag racing, Joe, and then he got into circle track racing. And I never have been a really, really big drag racing fan until Kyle and his family purchased Maple Grove, and I had a chance to go there and do what I do. And I'm a big fan of racing photography. And
good.
I always ask them, who takes all these pictures? And then I went on the Maple Grove Then and Now site, and I seen all the stuff that you and Dan do, and I'm like, wow, these guys are like. And Mike that works at Maple Grove, Mike Erico, he said, well, that's the Grippo brothers. And I'm like, they need to be selling their pictures. And then when I had a chance to talk to you, you're like, nah, we just do it for the love of the sport. And,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we're not trying to sell it. And I was talking to Kenny today, and Kenny Jr., and I said, I'm going to have the Grippo brothers on my show. And he said, oh, that's great. You got to send me the link. So Kenny may be listening. So,
Cool.
So, but yeah, I mean, you don't know how much I appreciate you and your brother being on here. He's probably going to call after you're done. But you guys, guys have been involved drag racing for a long, long time. Tell us how that started. You got involved in that through your dad, I guess?
Yeah, my dad used to race in the 70s, and he started in the 70s. And, we used to go as kids, we'd get pushed around in strollers and stuff at the track, and we just kind of grew up around it. And then, in the 80s, as I found me started getting older, you kind of got away from racing, but we still went as far as, like, spectators. Used to go to the big national events and some of the bigger events. And when we turned 16 and got our cars and stuff, we, run around the streets a little bit. And then eventually, when we got enough money together, we could actually go to the track and race ourselves. So I guess in our early 20s, we started running. And we got kind of serious about it, I guess, in the mid-90s. We were doing the car show thing and going to shows and stuff like that, car clubs. And racing was always, something we always wanted to do. We just started doing it more and more and kind of got bit by it, and here we are.
Yeah, I'll say. You've been going to Maple Grove for decades, and now that you've seen a lot of changes at Maple Grove, Joe, and to see the Koretsky's take over the track and knowing that Kyle's a racer, that Kenny is a truck racer, and of course the captain, Kenny, and to see them take over the track and see the changes that they made, people like you who are in, I wouldn't say the lower echelon of racing, but you're not pros at it, you got to feel pretty good about the direction that Maple Grove is going.
Oh, no question about it. It's night and day. The track was hanging on there for many years, and they did the best they could under the circumstances they had, the owners and stuff. But once the Koretsky family took over, it was almost like flipping a switch overnight. You could really see the changes. People got more excited about it. The facility itself, they improved it so much and continued to, which is fantastic.
Now, what do you the photography thing with you and your brother? You just do that as a hobby. Do you just keep them on a hard drive, or do you make pictures for yourself? You got beautiful cars. The Mustang and the car that your brother has.
The Maverick. Yeah,
the Maverick. That thing. Them cars are immaculate and they're beautiful. And
thanks.
I like the pictures that you take. Like I said, I'm a connoisseur of racing photography. We have a couple real good guys that take pictures at the circle tracks. Of course, I'm a circle track guy. I'm really not a drag guy, and that's what I tried to tell Kenny when he wanted me to announce stuff. I said, I'm not a drag guy. I'm a circle track guy. And then I got to know Billy, and we got Billy to come on the show. I said, we need Billy to come on our show so he could talk about Maple Grove because he's there and he knows about it. And then he offered me the deal to do the Keystone Trucking Nationals. All right, I know a little bit about trucking. I can do that. I can run my mouth about that because half of the trucks that are there, I see them every day out on the highway. So, but no, you guys have been doing that, and you just do it for the fun of it. But some of the pictures you take should be in magazines, Joe.
Well, we've gotten published over the years in different places and stuff. It's kind of it's always a nice little perk to get that done. But we just do it as a hobby. It's more of a fun thing for us, and with Facebook and the old forums and all that stuff we used to do. We always thought it was take the pictures, put them out there, get the word out of what's going on at all these different events in the track itself, and hopefully somebody will see it, get intrigued, maybe show up or come out and hang out and watch the racing, and just promote it and get people out there and get people through the gates, just to keep it open and keep it going.
Well, it's working now. It's definitely working now because the crowds are like I try to explain to people. They're like, well, why don't you do what you do at New Egypt at Maple Grove? I said, it's a different kind of atmosphere. There's not a bunch of fans just sitting in the grandstands. They're all in the pits working on their cars, and then when their cars come to the starting line, then you see them. But it's what I do at New Egypt is kind of obsolete at a drag strip. But there's so much going on at a drag strip, and tell the people what class you run and how you got involved in all that, Joe.
Yeah, I run the pro class, which is no delay boxes, no electronics, kind of foot braking stuff. That's what I do. I think it's 850 and quicker, 850 and slower is the class dial-in. It's bracket racing. We make a couple time runs and put a number on it and try to hit that number. And I've been doing that since we signed up for points, I guess, in the mid '90s, early '90s. And it's fun. Started out. I think we used to drive our cars to the track and change the tires and take the exhaust off and all that stuff.
That's funny.
And then we eventually, got enough money to get bought trailers and trucks and started towing them. And then we started going a little faster and a little faster.
Yeah, a lot faster, standing it on the back bumper, I see.
Yeah,
now, what's a standout moment for you in your career, Joe?
Won a couple times here and there. I won, I guess it was last year, year before, we won the Hemmings race. That was pretty cool. Hemmings Motor News put on a race, and we won that. I won that class.
Cool.
I won the trophy sweepstakes a couple of years ago. Danny won. My brother won the Ford Motorsport Nationals years ago.
Nice.
And yeah, it's fun just going deep in the rounds and taking the check home is always a nice little payday.
Well, I'm sure I'm going to
rich,
get to see you this summer because I'm going to be there because my wife works there every weekend. So
yeah.
I'm sure I'm going to see you. Well, I'm pretty sure your brother's on the other line waiting to get in here.
Sure.
So I'm going to give him a shot and give him his due. But I really appreciate you calling, Joe. And like I said, you can go on the YouTube link and you can re-listen to this and see where your mistakes were for the next time.
Sounds good, man.
All right, thanks, Joe. I appreciate your time.
Okay, thanks, Nick.
All right, brother.
The other Grippo brother.
We got the other Grippo brother. We got Dan, and he runs the Maverick. All right, what's faster, Dan, the Maverick or the Mustang?
The Mustang for sure.
Okay. First of all, I appreciate you calling. And
hey, no problem, man. Thanks, Ray. I appreciate you asking, man. I mean, wait, I'm nobody.
Nah, you're somebody to us. Let's put it this way. Everybody's somebody. Don't ever think you're nobody. You know, when I, like I told your brother, when I went on the Then and Now site and I seen some of the pictures that you guys took, I said, these guys need to be selling their pictures because I'm into pictures of race cars and you guys do a phenomenal job at what you do. And then I finally got a chance to meet you guys and I just told my wife, I said, yep, they're exactly what I expected them to be. I said, they're great people, and I said, that's why this works here at Maple Grove, because of them kind of people. And like I asked your brother, I said, you guys got to be real happy with the direction that Maple Grove is going, because you've been there for so many years and seen so many changes, Dan. You guys got to be real happy with the direction it's going.
Absolutely. I mean, when you talk about a best case scenario, you know, racers buying it, you know, enthusiastic locals, you know, not some corporation didn't come in and take it over. You know, what the Koreskis have done has been amazing, really. I mean, it's, you know, the improvements. I mean, every week you go there, I don't care. It could be something as small as like a sign that was faded is fresh again, or a coat of paint or something. There's always something you see every week that's updated, or, you know, it's amazing how every week there's something that they keep improving the place, and, you know, how could you ask for anything more than that, than a commitment like that, you know?
Well, they put a great team together. Shane and the rest of his gang, they put a great team together. Of course, my wife works there all the time, but the Koreskis are
money.
Yeah, they're phenomenal people, and you know they don't walk around with their nose in the air. You see Kenny walking around, Kenny Sr. walking around, picking up trash and throwing it away. You see Kyle running around like a maniac. Easy access to all these people. I drive a dump truck for them. Top of the notch stuff. Anything you need, they give you. And that's how they feel about Maple Grove, and they want it to succeed. They want it to be a place where people want to go again, and I think they've accomplished that, and they have a lot more things that they want to do there. I mean, the national event, when they have it, is sold out every time. So, I mean, they're accomplished what they need to be accomplishing. Now, I got a question for you.
Okay.
When you have you ever raced against your brother, or are you two guys in separate classes?
Well, initially we were in the same class, and I think twice we've come up in competition together, and he beat me both times.
So he got bragging rights.
Yeah, the class is kind of split with the ET breaks.
Okay.
Maybe about 10, 15 years ago, so we wound up in different classes now, but yeah, for a while there we were in the same class, and we always tried to stay away from each other, but, you know, sometimes it just works out that way, you know.
Does it make it easier that you run a different class than him, because now he can help you and you can help him, and I can see that you guys are close when I talk to you in the trailer, and I know how close I am to my brother. When we raced, you know, he drove, and of course I was a crew member, but it's got to be cool to go to drag strip with your brother, see him do well, then he sees you do well. It's got to be a pretty good feeling to be hanging out with your brother all weekend.
Oh, absolutely. It's the best. I mean, you know, and like you said, it is easier now that, you know, we're in two different classes. You know, I can go up with him, and, you know, If you're familiar with the staging lanes, how to slope down, you get a little push down the lanes, and it's. I mean, and like I said, to be able to do it with family, it's there's nothing better than that, really. I mean, it's we pit together, we've done everything together all our lives, so it's great. I mean, we shared a room together growing up, so
yeah,
now we share a
absolutely.
pit spot.
That's cool. Now, what after all these years, Dan? What keeps you guys going back? Not say Maple Grove, because I know you go to different tracks, but what keeps you going all the years you've been going to the track? What keeps you going season after season?
I just love it. I don't know. I just love every aspect of it. I mean, I just love being outside. I love being around the cars, being around the people you meet. You always meet somebody new. I mean, there could be people that you're going to the track with for 30 years, and you don't always necessarily talk to them. It seems like every week you interact with somebody new or somebody different. You come up against somebody different.
Right.
It seems always a fresh experience, and it's just something I've always enjoyed.
Sounds different than
every aspect of it.
It's kind of different than our kind of racing. They're always fighting and arguing and all kinds of. Now, do you have a standout moment, or a biggest win that you've had in your career, Dan?
Biggest win? Well, my biggest win for sure was I won the Ford Motorsport Nationals. That event, if you're a Ford guy, it's like your Daytona 500, or
That's cool.
That's for Ford, for the local Ford guys. That's a big deal, and being a Ford guy, it was very gratifying. It was one of the greatest experiences of my life.
Well, I can tell you this: if you're out there listening to me, and we talk to Joe, we're talking to Dan. Go to Maple Grove Then and Now site. Also, you can go to the Maple Grove site, the main site. But the Maple Grove Then and Now site, these guys put some great pictures on there. And I have pictures that Dan sent me that didn't make it to the teaser, but they'll make it to my site, and I'll put them on there. You got to check out their pictures, gang. Mm-hmm. And if you see their cars in the pit area, walk over to them. I'm sure they will find a way, if he took a picture of your car, to get you your picture of your race car. Keep doing what you're doing. I will see you guys soon, because I will be at the track, and I appreciate you calling, Dan, and tell your brother I appreciate him calling also.
Yep, absolutely, Nick. Thanks for having us.
Oh, no problem. Anytime. You got an open door here. You can call anytime you want.
All right.
Thanks, Dan. I appreciate it.
Hang in, Nick Marco.
Oh.
Nick Marco.
Nick, who are you? Nick Marco. Do I know you? I seen some pictures.
Oh, yeah.
I seen some pictures of the Nick Marco mobile. What's going on, Nicholas?
The car's getting there.
I see that. I
think Tom is priming it today, so it's really getting there another couple of weeks, and should be ready for Bruce to do some lettering on it.
Nice.
So, but anyway, with me, I'm the local, national, international race fan and all that stuff. So over the past weekend, the Port Royal, that was a very good race. And Fred, look, like I was telling you, that track, it's a paperclip track, but it has houses all around it. And I sent you a picture. I don't know if you got it or not.
No, I got it. I would buy a house on the backstretch, Nick, and put lawn chairs up on the roof. That is so cool.
Yep, it really is. And those houses are old, too. So they've been there for a while, and the track's been there for a long time, too. But kind of funny that the New Yorkers took the first 4 spots with Dylan Sawyer, Matt Shepard, Mahaney, Alex Payne. And then 6th through 10th were the Jersey guys, Matt Stangl, Ryan Godown, Pouts Jr., Loud Reimert, Ryan White, Danny Buck. So there was a good showing there, but
nice.
Those guys from New York are strong.
Well, that Storer kid, he he's good at Bridgeport too. So you may want to keep an eye on him at Bridgeport this week, Fred, because
he came from Orange County, right?
Yes.
Orange County close.
Yep, and his dad raced at New Egypt a little bit, and then the kids started running, but the kid's got talent. I mean, him, Yankowski, I guess Yankowski blew the motor, right, Nick? I think he blew the motor.
I think he did, yeah. He slowed down, and that was it for the night. So now with the crate guys, Steve, it was just the opposite, where the Jersey guys were in there, and so the top 5, you had Steve, and then Joe Toth in his own car, James Hill, a track champ at Bridgeport, Little Paulie finished 4th, then the Canadian Donovan Lucier.
I'm glad you said that.
Yeah. So, but strong showings in both divisions and the other divisions too.
Well, that'll be good at Bridgeport because Joey will be in Dave Adams' 37. We got to get Joe on the show to talk about that too. Joe will be in Dave's car. Dave warmed that up at Bridgeport. He had 2 cars there. So Joey will be in that, and then Steven will be in one of his cars. So it ought to be pretty interesting at Bridgeport. I mean, that's a short track Super Series race, so that ought to be pretty cool.
Yep. And then you look at the trip out in Vegas and the trucks. Stuart Friesen had a really good showing for himself. He qualified well. I think he qualified 5th. And he led quite a few laps, and he finished 6th overall. But it was a good showing for Stuart. Corey Heim, also known as Heim Time, he won it. But Stuart had a real good showing for himself. And then the Xfinity, Justin Allgaier in a junior car, Dale Junior car, won it. Let's see, what else do I have here for you? Formula One.
The Cup race was
fantastic
by the Wood brothers, and my adopted nephew Kyle Belmont works on the Wood Brothers 21, so I got to give a shout out to Kyle Belmont. He's going to be calling our show.
I saw that Kyle was on.
Kyle was on TV, and I talked to Kyle afterwards. I texted him. I said, "Good job, kiddo," and I said, "When you coming on my show?" Because we had Skip Flores. He's friends with him, so I told Kyle. I said, "You got to come on the show." So
I have always been a Wood Brothers fan ever since David Pearson drove that car. And I just always loved the collar scheme. Ricky Rudd ran it for a while, and Morgan Shepherd. I just always loved that car. And
Pearson drove that car too, right?
Yeah, David Pearson run that back in the 70s.
So. All right, Nick, we got a caller.
We got one more caller.
We got one more caller, but we appreciate you calling. And being as you're going to be the insider for this Cup stuff, you might as well just decide to call every week.
Yeah, just call in every week.
Just call in every week and give us the updates on that stuff.
And then we'll be ready for May 10th. We'll be ready.
All right. Thanks, Nick.
And there's an open practice next Tuesday. So, Fred, if you're going to go down there, I plan on going down there, not with my car, but there's an open practice next Tuesday or next Tuesday.
Yeah, I might get down. I don't know if my car's going to be ready either. I got business got crazy, more than usual.
Like a one-arm paper.
Need a hand? Let me know.
All right, I will.
All right, Nick. Thank you.
All righty.
All right, who you got next?
See you guys.
Thanks, Nick.
Is this the man, Pistol Pete Wortman? What's going on, my man?
What's going on?
You're our last
get back
caller.
on the horse here.
Yeah, you're our last caller of the night, and New Egypt looked like you're ready to go. I talked to Chris the other day. He said he's crossing his T's and dotting his I's. And you ready to go, Pete?
The track looked good. I'm ready to go. Absolutely.
Good. Now, are you going to be at the practice Tuesday?
I'm planning on going out there, yes.
Okay, now I don't know
I want to see what it looks like. I want to talk to Chris, make sure the tower's in good shape.
Okay, I don't know how late I'm working. I may be able to come down there and chat with you. Well, I'll try and be
Friday
there.
I won't be because I'll be at Georgetown. Georgetown opens Friday night.
Yeah, I put that on our page. But, yeah, I mean, Georgetown's looking pretty good. Bridgeport's opening this weekend. Should be a great weekend for Bridgeport. Yeah, I mean, things are looking up. I mean, Chris said he's just crossing his T's and dotting his I's, getting things ready. It looks like they got their track in pretty good shape. I'm ready to have some fun, Pete. How about you?
I'm more than ready. I've been ready since January.
Well, I can tell you this. I am so glad that I'm coming back to be with you. I hardly contain myself, my man.
Absolutely.
So we're gonna have some fun. Chris has got some things in mind, and we're gonna talk with him and do what we got to do. And yeah, it's about time I started having some fun again with the people that I love.
I may run down there for the practice on Tuesday night.
Well, there you go. If I get done early, what time's the practice start, Pete?
I think it's 6 or 7.
And it goes till 9 o'clock, right? It goes till 9 o'clock. I thought I seen 9 o'clock. Yeah.
Yeah, I might get down there.
Well, there you go, Fred.
I mean, I'm not taking my car because it's not ready yet.
No, well, Fred's got to get his car dialed in. He got his seat dialed in, so he's got that.
Got the seat, got the brakes bled, got a fire suppression system in. So yeah, I'm pretty good. I just got to run some plumbing for the fire suppression, but I'm ready to go. I'll be ready to go for May.
Well, that'll be fun seeing that car on the track. Almost a shame to get it dirty.
Yeah, well, yeah. And I wanted to say something to Matt Rozier, who actually told John Pastore to rub paint on me when I'm out there. So kiss my butt there, Matt.
That's all right, Matt. If he scratches that car, I'm scratching your face.
I'm going to throw some dirt in that turn 3.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm going to get him dirty.
That's all right. We got to watch what we say about Matt, though, because if he's inspecting cars, he's liable to fail you.
Now, my stuff's going to be tight.
But not, Pete. I mean, you got the practice. Then you got 2 practices. You got one Tuesday and then Friday, right?
Yeah, New Egypt's practicing Friday. And, of course, the dirt guys come in Saturday. It'll be interesting to see if any of them show up to practice the night before and get some track time.
Right. Well, I think you're in for an interesting year. I think
this is going to be good.
Hopefully Mother Nature's going to cooperate. She usually doesn't until, like, the end of April, but hopefully keep our fingers crossed and we'll be able to do what we do.
It looks pretty good next weekend right now. I mean, it's still a ways out. We're still a week and a half away.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, get ready to be able to do this every Wednesday, Mr. Wortman, because we need you to give the updates for New Egypt. And, of course, I'll be there, but I want you to call in and do the stuff for New Egypt.
Absolutely.
So, we'll, and you can do the stuff for Georgetown, too, when you call.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, 2 weeks. I'll call next week and we'll preview everything, and then in 2 weeks I'll have reports for both of them.
Yeah, just make some notes for Georgetown and make some notes for New Egypt, and I'll be up there with you, and we'll just do what we got to do.
And Georgetown just had their practice. The track looked really good.
Yeah,
of course, they had
that.
James Friesen doing it.
Yeah. All right, well, we appreciate you calling, and as always, give Diane a hug and a kiss for me.
All right, I will.
All right, brother, I'll talk to you soon.
All right, great.
All right, brother. We'll talk to you.
All right, thanks.
All right.
Yep.
All right, see you, Pete.
Do we got a couple minutes, Steve?
Yeah, you got like 2 minutes.
All right, we can talk our sponsors real quick.
Go ahead.
All right. Sage is the rage in chiropractic. I beat you to it this time. I was up there the other day getting my adjustment, and up there in Newtown, 123 North Sycamore Street in Newtown. Fantastic. Both Carrie and Mike up there. I actually stopped in today. I was up in Newtown, so I stopped in to say hi to them, and they had a question about a car, so a regular car, not racing. So I stopped in and was filling them in, and they were busy too. So that's a testament to how good they are. So give them a call, 215-497-0700, or stop in at 123 North Sycamore Street in downtown Newtown. Sage is the rage.
That's right. In chiropractic care, they're fixing Fred up.
To keep me moving.
They keep Fred moving so he can
get in and out of my seat that Randy Laird just fixed. Now I don't have to wedge myself in. I can.
That's right.
I'm a little more mobile. So, but I'm really looking forward to this season and getting out there and running the 6 runs at New Egypt, a couple runs at Bridgeport, maybe. We'll see.
Yeah.
But I'm looking
forward. Don't forget
to
tomorrow at 9 o'clock from 9 to 9:30. It's America's Mechanic right here on WBCB. And then from 9:30 to 10 o'clock, it's Your Need for Speed. Mr. Foxwell and Mr. Fletcher will be here. Not unless, well, it ain't going to rain tomorrow. It's going to rain later. Yeah. But our official sponsor here is Fletcher's Garage. They're located at 480 Hood Boulevard, Fairless Hills. They have a 24,000 2-year 24,000 mile warranty. Nobody does that. Fred's been in the business forever. Whatever you need done to your car, you need to take it to Fletcher's. And that's Fletcher'sGarage.com, Fletcher'sGaragePA.com. So go there, see Fred, see all the people there. They're good people. Got any problems with your car, they just hooked my wife up with her car. It's ready to go for the Grove run. And anything you need.
Make sure she gets to the Grove.
Yep. She's going to make sure she gets to the Grove. Don't forget Flag to Flag Solutions. That's Warren and Kate. Anything you need in the way of racing, and they'll take care of you.
Safety, logistics behind
logistics, anything you need. Kate and Warren get it done. Of course, Warren Alston, he's a flagger for USAC. He's been a flagger at every racetrack around here. Kate is the glue here that gives us our notes for each show that we do. We couldn't do what we do without Kate. So, as we say this, we will see Fred. We will hear Fred tomorrow, bright and early at 9 o'clock, and at 10 o'clock.
9:30.
9:30.
Till 10 o'clock.
9:30 to 10 o'clock. And as always, Stone Cold, Steve Lawler at the helm. And we'll talk to you later right here on Wide Open Wednesday.
Do you feel the need for speed and are a car racing fan? Then tune in every Thursday morning at 9:30 a.m. for the Need for Speed Auto Show, hosted by me, America's mechanic, Fred Fletcher. Everything you want to know about our local tracks and races to the NASCAR scene, as well as our area car shows and cruise nights. Brought to you by Fletcher's Garage in Fairless Hills and heard every Thursday morning at 9:30 on WBCB 1490 AM, 107.3 FM, and throughout the world at WBCB1490.com.
In your journey back to work, we understand the barriers you may face. We have a solution to bridge that gap. No matter your background, PA CareerLink staff are here to provide personalized assistance and help you thrive. Take the first step towards a new chapter in your career journey with PA CareerLink. Visit pacareerlink.pa.gov or your local PA CareerLink office today.
Paid for with Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.